Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to the last podcast where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is the first time you're listening, welcome. I'm happy you found me. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I want to talk about hitting a plateau. And it doesn't matter. I'm talking about any plateau in your life. Life often presents itself as a journey filled with ups and downs, right? Much like an athlete striving for greatness, an individual trying to lose weight, or a professional climbing the corporate ladder. However, at times we hit a plateau, feeling stuck despite our efforts, and understanding these plateaus and learning how to push past them can be the key to continued growth and success. So, imagine a basketball player who trains daily, improving their shots, speeds, agility. Yet after months of progress, their game seems to stagnate. They practice, but no improvement. The frustration builds, making them question their abilities. And what about that person who embarks on a weight loss journey, shredding pounds rapidly at first? They stick to their diet and exercise regimen, yet suddenly the scale refuses to budge, right? This is the dreaded weight loss plateau, where the same efforts yield no results. How about a professional who works hard, gains promotions, and climbs the ladder? However, after reaching a certain level, the opportunities for advancement seem to disappear. They feel stuck in a position that once excited them, but now feels like a routine day-to-day dreaded job. I know you've been there. I've been there, especially losing all the weight that I had to lose. I've been there hitting a plateau. No matter what I did, I couldn't get past a certain weight. But I realize every now and then we have to switch things up. And I'm going to talk about a guy named Alex. Alex was ambitious. He was young. He was a professional who once thrived in his career. He was praised for his innovative ideas and dedication. But over time, however, he noticed his progress started to slow. Promotions stopped coming. His work became like a mind-numbing task, if you want to call it that. I don't know if you ever been there. I mean, there's a lot of us that go to work, right, every day. How does that feel? I mean, is it a task? Is it mundane? Is it boring? I mean, only you can answer that question. But his enthusiasm faded something awful. He tried working harder, but nothing changed. Frustration set in, making him question, did he reach his peak? So one day, Alex had a conversation with a mentor who helped him see that growth often requires change, not just persistence. Instead of pushing harder in the same way or in the same direction, he needed to shift strategies and acquire new skills and seek fresh challenges. With renewed focus, Alex expanded his network, took on new responsibilities, and eventually broke through his career plateau. If you are facing a plateau in any area of your life, it's time to sit down, regroup, reassess, and say, what area of my life feels stagnant? Now, only you can answer that question, but you have to really put in the work and sit there and think, what area in my life feels stagnant, feels stale? What area am I not progressing? I'm not moving forward. I'm not growing. But I have another question for you that you can ask yourself. Have I been repeating the same actions expecting different results? Ooh, that's like the definition of insanity. If so, what are they? What strategies or skills can I develop to get to the next level? Now, that's something that you need to really think about as well. But here's another question for you. What external or internal factors may be contributing to my plateau? Now that gets you to actually take a look at what you're doing and then take a look inside yourself to see, is there some limiting beliefs that's stopping me from moving forward? Is there something that I'm doing that's stopping me? Or is there anything that I might be thinking that might be hindering my progression? Because that can stop you from growing? Who can offer guidance or mentorship to me? Maybe it's sometimes you need to seek out help, or you need to seek out a mentor or someone that you trust, know, and love to say, hey, look, I'm having this and I just can't seem to move past this part of my life. What do you think might be holding me back? Sometimes somebody looking from the outside in might be able to shed a little light. They might be able to give you a few ideas on something that might be working or something that may not be working for you. And then, have I taken time to reflect on my purpose and long-term goals? When was the last time you pulled out your goals and looked at them? And sometimes you might have to rearrange them. Sometimes you need to take those goals and say, is this still serving me? Or did I get off track somewhere on the way to my goal, on the way to reaching my goal? Did I sidetrack somewhere? Because in life, there's so many different roads and so many people pulling you in different directions and so many distractions in life. What might be distracting you? Or did you get thrown off track and didn't even notice? Now, here's another question. What small changes can I implement today to create momentum? Or what small changes can I make today to get back on track? Reassess your goals, reassess your mission, and then set up a new plan. You gotta be able to write down moments in your life where you probably felt stuck before. How did you overcome them? If you did, assuming that you've had that opportunity to overcome something once you were stuck at one point. So what did you do to get past that? Identify what worked then, and maybe it might be able to help you move past what's happening now. So here's one thing I want you to take to heart though. Introduce one new habit daily for 30 days. And I'm talking about a positive habit that's going to move you forward, whether it's reading a new book, learning a new skill, or connecting with different people. Sometimes we have to shift things up, shake things up, and you have to rattle that nonsense of stagnation. Shake it off. So here's what I also want you to try. You don't have to, but it's just an idea. I'm just shooting ideas to you. I've done all this stuff, so I know most of it works. List negative thoughts about your plateau and reframe them into opportunities for growth. And if you want to go for extra credit, you can go ahead and change out your vision board if you have one. If you don't have one, maybe it's time to create a vision board. Something that you could look at, or something that you see every day that propels you to move forward with your goal every single day. Devise some sort of action plan. Write it down. 3 specific actions you can take this week to push you past stagnation. What are those 3 things that you can try to move you forward? But in the grand scheme of things, if you wanted to say and look in the mirror and say, what would make my heart sing? And if things don't change, what would that do? How would I feel? What would life be like 2 years from now if things don't change? And then you got to think about what it is that you actually want out of life, what it is that you actually want within the next month, within the next 6 months, within the next year. You got to ask yourself, what does life look like for you, right? Because I've always believed that questions will definitely help us find the answers to whatever we're looking for, but we have to ask the right questions. So what are you asking yourself? And better yet, what dialogue do you have with yourself? What is it like being you? Yeah, that's a great question, right? What is it like being me? You look in the mirror, who are you? Can you answer with all honesty who you really are? And I'm not talking about the roles you play in life. I'm not talking about you being a father or mother or brother, sister or aunt or uncle or any of that. I'm talking about who you are outside of the roles that you play in life. Who are you? What do you want? So ask that in a way with a pen and a paper, or keys, fingers to keys, if that's what you want, and answer. Think for a moment. Who am I without all those roles? Who would I be when I achieve what I am looking to achieve? Or what would others see once I achieve what I want to achieve? I think when you start asking yourself a ton of questions, and meaningful questions, let me put it that way, I think what you're going to start to see with yourself is a little more clarity, a little more understanding of you. I mean, because you got to look at the whole picture, right? You just can't look at what I want out of life. You got to look at everything. Who are you? First of all, there are 3 parts of you, right? And I know you're going to say this is crazy, but it is. It's 3 parts of you if you think about it. It's your body, it's your spirit, and it's your soul. And all 3 of them need to be aligned for things to work right. And we know that the body is always trying to do its own thing, lust, whatever the case, it's always trying. But we have to make sure that our spirit gets aligned and our soul is aligned, that our spirit can control the body, because then we'll have perfect alignment. But who am I? What kind of energy do I bring? What kind of energy do I omit? Because all these questions, if you got to start asking all these questions, and then you start saying, okay, who am I outside of this? Who am I outside of that? I know I'm a mother, but who am I outside of mother? Who am I? So my name is Dave. You're listening to the last podcast. I just want you to be the best version of yourself. And you can only do that when you start taking stock in you. And that's outside of the roles that you play. You have to build you up from the core, from inside. So do me a favor, take time, start asking yourself some powerful questions that can help shape your life to the life you want to live. Hey, do me a favor, like this podcast, share this podcast, tell your family, your co-workers, your associates about this podcast. Be blessed and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.